You are all aware of the horrid events that depict our return to the days of hostility with the abduction of one of our members, Comrade Omoyele Sowore, by the DSS in the early hours of Saturday, August 3rd, by masked armed men of the an act that is not only condemnable, but gives room for evil perpetrators to further undermine the safety of innocent Nigerians. The poor state of education, which ensures that most of the children of the poor working people cannot access quality education, and the systemic corruption that leaves the majority in penury. Abuse of fundamental human rights, all these are the reasons for our embarking on Days of Rage, which started on August 5, 2019. We need a new order, and we are both to say so. We urge the government to stop the further attempt of diverting people's opinions from the issues, at stake. We are non-violent and unarmed Nigerians, but we are equipped with words of the truth and the conscience craving for justice, equity, and fairness. We have rights as Nigerians to freedom of speech, assembly, and peaceful protest. We can no longer watch as Nigerians are being roasted alive, in foreign countries. Our citizens are being raped, extorted, and abused in foreign lands. Those at home can't get good education, good health care, and employment. The level of insecurity in the north, south, east, west, is a source of worry to all. Our rulers have no solution to all this. They see the country as a business center, with most of them having homes outside the shores of our land, and their families living on funds stolen from our collective patrimony. The development at the moment, with the court order obtained on August 8, 2019 by the DSS to retain Omoyele Sowore in their custody without trial for 45 more days, which is being described as renewable, reminds one of nothing but the military days of tyranny. We vehemently condemn the Decree 2 in disguise that has found its way back into our democracy. We urge all Nigerians and lovers of democracy to resist this. It is a necessity. Our 5 core demands remain. For the avoidance of doubt, we hereby reiterate the 5 core demands. 1, an economy that works for the masses, an economy that works for all. No to an economy which throws over 90 million people into poverty, while just about 5 people own 11 trillion naira, in assets. 2, an effective and democratic end to insecurity, poverty, discrimination, repression by the state. 3, and for total system change. 4, the immediate implementation of 1,000 naira minimum wage. And 5, free and qualitative education for all. So we are calling on students, market women, artisans, union represent the true and popular democracy that can bring to birth a better society. We will win the new Nigeria of our dream only by taking action. We thus call on all to exploit. We all call on all exploited and oppressed Nigerians, constituting the immense majority of the population, to peacefully occupy the streets on August 19. We can only get the kind of Nigeria we want if we struggle for it. You know, if we dare to struggle, we dare to win. As at today, you know, we have gotten practically everybody out, you know. But an incident occurred yesterday around 4 o'clock when 5 of those who are released, you know, from on bail, where the police made an attempt to rearrest them at the Kalakuta Museum, where they went for a media event, and within a twinkle of an eye, a patrol team of 7 vehicles appeared, and they wanted to pick them up. You know, fortunately, that could not be. But that is the current reality of our time right now, that activists are being repressed. And that accounts for why many are a bit skeptical coming to this venue because of the fear of arrest. You know, many companies have been on the street for quite a while now. So, but we have succeeded in moving in 21 cities and 17 states of the Federation. And outside the country, Nigerians in close to 6 countries right now have actually stormed the streets, you know, in protest to the situation in the country, and also, you know, in support of the core demands, and also calling for the release of Omoyele Sowore. So that is the reality of our time right now. And as regards when will it be over? It will be over, you know, when we have victory. So this movement is first and foremost an intellectual movement. It is an attempt to bring together, you know, the Nigerian masses concerned. It is to water the appetite for change and to get people thinking. Once a slave realizes that he's a slave, then he's half a slave.
Labour itself is asking for the release of Omoyele Sowore
and other activists.
And other activists as well.
Yes.
And it must be clear that perhaps in terms of method as at that time, but no Nigerian, no union, no meaningful union will sit down and watch a government clamp down on the freedom of expression of an average Nigerian. Please don't be surprised if by the next action those we are talking about are even at the forefront of the struggle. And what are we talking about? We're talking about the Nigerian people. The 30,000 naira minimum wage is not even enough. If you look at the situation we have as of today, if you are sick and you go to any of the public hospitals, you are a dead person. Yes. And contrary to what the presidency is saying, that the protest wasn't successful, I will tell you clearly that within that 24 hours of that protest, over 30,000 persons were joining the movement, social media fronts, and in all manners showing their interest. If you look at that, you will see that Nigerians are tired.
Under this same tyranny of Muhammadu Buhari. So, in a way, you know, you begin to think, you know, do we deserve this? We've been under, you know, this kind of tyrannical situation before. And then this is what? It's, you know, how many years? Over 30-something years. Again, we find ourselves under the same tyrannical situation. We had Decree 2, you know, in those days that attempted to muzzle us. But, you know, we fought, you know, against that. And we fought against the tyranny of military regimes in this country. And in those days, we did that, you know, as student union activists, as young people, youth, people who had our lives ahead of us. And we fought for our destiny. And we're being compelled, you know, to have that same fight. But obviously now, you know, it being led by younger people, you know, than younger people, you know, who are the same age as about what we were, you know, before. Now, Decree 2 is being repackaged, and it's the same thing that is happening, but with, you know, a newer package. So even though, you know, they wear babanriga and suits, just like Fela said, you know, this effectively beats no nation. Revolution means one thing. It means a transformation. That is the meaning of revolution, a transformation. Do we want to transform this country? Of course we do. The answer remains yes. Do we want to move this country to a higher level? Absolutely. The answer is yes. Revolution is also about the consciousness of our people, of waking up, from the slumber of being, like walking. People have been demobilized with hunger, demobilized with illiteracy, demobilized with poverty, demobilized with ethnicity, demobilized with religion, to begin to see ourselves as separate. We are one people, one powerful Nigerian people, and that is what we want. And in order to get that, there will have to be a revolution in our minds. There will have to be a revolution of our consciousness. And that is what revolution means. And certainly, there is no Nigerian who loves this country, who wants to secure the future of this country. All of us, women, children, young people, men, all the professions across, the board in this country. This is our country, and we are going to lay a stake in this country.
I want to appreciate Sowore and the group behind him, because he is making a clarion call. You will recall that the present government came into power with the slogan, change. My dear friends, change is also revolution. So Sowore is trying to help them realize we have now Since you said, okay, the other government, the administration before this one is very bad, we are coming to make a change. And in any case, this man to the leader is a soldier, and so we believe the fighting in Borno and other parts of the country will stop because the soldier is in place. The other man is a civilian, so quickly get out. So change. So he came. Sowore and others, and Nigerians in fact, found out there is no change. No change at all. And by the way, before I continue, the issue of Sowore, holding him in detention without trial, is also like you. It could be you tomorrow. It could be anybody. So there is a law that you don't detain somebody without a charge. Two, it is true that we ought to have the freedom of association and expression of our views. So on all these counts, the establishment has faulted by carrying him away in the night as if they are carrying away a robber. So talking about change, this change will involve the agencies that are in charge of security, the police, the army, the DSS. We want this change to be good for them and their children. Because if there is peace in this country, soldiers and policemen will not be killed unnecessarily. Right? They will not be killed unnecessarily. Their standard of living will be all right. But as it is now, if you enter into the forces, it is like a certificate to go and die. All right? So, the change that this revolution is talking about would involve education. I'm in the educative sector. I know that no education is going on now. No education. From primary school to the university, education is there. That's why those of them who ought to champion the cause of education send their children overseas. When they don't want to do that because they love their children to be around them, they find special schools where you pay millions. And how many people, how many Nigerians will go to that school? That is it. The economy is terrible. This is, as we declare, the headquarters of poverty in the world. And it shouldn't be so. What don't we have here? Apart from oil, we have mineral resources. We have human capital, if you want to use that word for human beings. And Nigerians, when they are outside, they make waves, both in science, in technology, and in business. These very Nigerians that they call criminals. They are not criminals. These are people who have been repressed and under press and made to feel like running away from their own country. But right now, you can see the country they want to run to, people are being murdered. Even Europeans are saying, don't go there again, because your life is in danger. I mean, the whites. So why can't you make this place right? This revolution, this change, which they were talking about, this is what I stand for, it's what they stand for. And talking about the election, of course you know that there was no real election. There was no real election, ladies and gentlemen. Let us not deceive ourselves. They handpicked themselves. How many of you here can vie to be governor? How many? If you look at yourself, unless there is a way they allocate some oil blocks to you, or give you some minerals to solid minerals to sell, otherwise you will be as wretched or as myself, right? So we, the wretched of the earth, should support this change. Let us not zero it to Sowore. Let us not zero it to Sowore. Sowore is just helping us to do what we ought to have been doing, right? Sowore is also helping the labor unions to do what they ought to have been doing. And finally, please, don't expect anybody to do what you should do for yourself. I am here because it concerns me. You are here because it concerns you. You are also, you should be interested in the welfare and well-being of Nigerian citizens. So when they were killing people in the north, some people in the south kept quiet. Now the thing is here. So we're all interested. But ordinarily, we should regard ourselves as each other's people, right? So I want to salute all of you, salute all the members of the core group for this event. Thank you.
The society in which we live now is a society that is worthy of being changed. A society that is worthy of being replaced by a better society. We have a society in which 145 women die every day in childbirth. A society in which we have the highest number of extremely poor people in the world. A society in which people are molested every day by landlords and all kinds of thugs because they are living in extreme poverty. Children can't go to school, go to the hospitals, go to the schools. They are all ramshackle. What is worth preserving in that society? A revolution is the complete upturning of a situation so that a new situation will be established. So if we have a Nigeria in which people can go to school, children can get the kind of education they deserve, women and men, children get the kind of health care they deserve, people are able to fulfill their life ambitions, and we have a system in which all the wealth of the country is used for the people. That society, if we are able to create it, that would be a revolution. So we have no apology for using the word revolution. We will continue to use it because we believe that that new Nigeria of equality, of justice, of solidarity is what Nigerians have been waiting for decades. The present Nigeria is a Nigeria of absolute poverty, of oppression, of exploitation. We have no apologies for saying we want to change that Nigeria for a new Nigeria. We have no apologies for that.
I feel a lot of the discussion or the dialogue around this has been phrased so wrong. It is not the people calling for freedom that are guilty. It is not Sowore that is guilty. It is the Nigerian state is guilty. We say they are guilty of murder, mass murder. They are guilty of terrorism. They are guilty of enslavement. They are guilty of so many things. We have declared the Nigerian state guilty. We are not guilty, and we are the judges here. And as Fidel Castro said, to paraphrase, history will absolve us, but history will not be kind to the oppressors. Our ancestors, I can see Dr. Becker and Somputi here watching us, will not be happy with us if we do not stand. and fight for what is right in this country. Fela Anikulapo Kuti will not be happy with us. Gani Fayomi will not be happy with us. Baba Omojola will not be happy with us. We are continuing a struggle that they led for a fundamental change in this country. This country, democracy is 20 years old. Has it not been enough time to get things right? That in the interest of the majority of the people, the government should rule? The country as a whole is over 50 years old, and we remain every year going backwards. Solidarity.